Good morning. Good morning, students. Welcome to this counseling session of paper 5, Advanced Accounting at Intermediate Level. In this counseling session, we are here to provide you guidance for the preparation of paper 5. As you all know that this paper is very important paper in the curriculum of Chartered Accountancy. The paper is, as the name suggests, the paper is advanced level paper. As compared to paper 1, the syllabus of this paper is
recording in progress,
more tricky, more advanced, and your preparation of financial statements of companies. Some typical aspects of companies like ESOPs, buyback of shares, amalgamation, internal reconstruction are also being covered here, which are a little bit tricky and where the provisions of accounting standards are also to be complied with. So, in this paper, besides preparation, besides reading the study material, we are also supposed to know how to tackle the paper in the examination center. So, just preparing for the curriculum is not important. How to tackle the examination is also important. Many of the students come to us and they complain that they are not able to attempt the paper within the prescribed time limit of 3 hours. So, why this problem arises? This problem arises because of lack of practice and lack of confidence among the students. So, we from Board of Studies, I am CA Seema Gupta.
I am CA Asha.
And we are here to provide you guidance for both aspects of preparation. Beyond the at home, when we are preparing for the examination, and while facing the examination, what problems we are encountered with. And we will also address through this counseling session, we will also address the common mistakes generally committed by the students, how to overcome those problems, and how to plan for the how to plan effectively in the such manner so that we can able to complete the paper within the prescribed time limit of 3 hours. So now we will come to the we will address the important aspects of the concepts, important aspects of the topics in this curriculum of paper 5. First of all, for starting the preparation for this particular paper, we must know what is the pattern of the question paper. The pattern of the question paper is very important to be understood, because otherwise you will not be able to know what is the pattern, which type of the question generally come in the examination and how we are supposed to attempt those questions. Question paper of this paper 5 consists of 6 questions. As already some of you already might have cleared paper 1. The exactly same pattern is of paper 5 also. The question paper is having 6 questions, and first question is compulsory, where the candidates are required to answer any 4 questions out of the remaining 5. One internal choice in any of the non-compulsory questions is being provided in the question paper. The entire syllabus of paper 5 is divided into 3 modules by Board of Studies for the better understanding of students. In module 1, we are covering chapter 1 and chapter 2. Chapter 1 is completely based on accounting standards. The topic is very important because it generally consists of weightage of 20 to 30 marks in the question paper. So, to understand the accounting standards is very, very significant. And many of the topics are also interconnected. So, not only the understanding of accounting standards will give you the thorough gist of chapter 1, but besides this, many other chapters are also solved simultaneously while you prepare the chapter 1 of accounting standards. In chapter 2, we have partnership, where we are covering amalgamation of partnership firms, conversion of partnership firm into company, dissolution of partnership firm, and significant concepts, significant provisions of limited liability partnership. Then in module 2, what we are covering, in module 2, we have chapter 3 to chapter 7. In chapter 3, we are having ESOPs. Chapter 5, we are having buyback of shares. And in chapter 5, we are having amalgamation. Chapter 6, internal reconstruction of companies. And in chapter 7, liquidation of companies. The entire portion of company accounts is very significant. It has a weightage of around 30 to 40% for this particular portion, and the complete full-fledged question is may be asked in the question paper either on amalgamation topic or on reconstruction topic. So all these topics are very significant to be prepared for the examination point of view. In module 3, we are covering chapter 8, 9 and 10, where we are having banking companies, NBFCs, and then consolidation. Again, from consolidation, full-fledged question will be asked. From banking, full-fledged question may be asked for 14 or 16 marks or 12 marks with combination or commutation with NBFC. So now, after understanding the significance of the topics, let us briefly discuss about the pattern, how the questions will be asked in the examination. Because if you are familiar with the pattern of the question paper, if you are familiar with the structure of the question paper, definitely
preparation will be easy.
Definitely you will gain confidence, and definitely you will know how to prepare, how to focus, and how to strategize your preparation in what way. In the manner of preparation will be dependent on the understanding of the structure of the question paper. In question 1, we are having this question is compulsory question, as it is very clearly mentioned also here that question number 1 is a compulsory question. It consists of short questions where the students are expected to understand the provisions of the accounting standards and to make them applicable in real life situation or the practical situations, whatever are being given to us in the examination. This section is very important, and this is basically chapter 1, the entire chapter 1, where we are asked to solve 4 parts of 5 marks each. So it's a 20 marks question. In question number 2, now what is asked in question number 2 is based on section 2. Section 2 is basically company accounts. Section 2 is basically company accounts where we are having employee share based payments, we are having buyback of shares, we are having amalgamation of companies, and we are having internal reconstruction of companies besides liquidation. So from this particular section, under one particular question of 20 marks, we will be having a full-fledged question either on amalgamation or reconstruction of companies.
That means 20 marks is compulsory from the amalgamation and reconstruction.
Yeah, 20 marks is compulsory from this particular
portion. 20 marks from the accounting standards and 20 marks from the either from the amalgamation or the reconstruction chapter.
Yeah.
So you have to prepare both these topics very carefully and thoroughly.
Besides, not only understanding the provisions or not only understanding the concepts, whichever is given in the study material, the students are expected to solve the practical problems on their own, because as many problems as you will solve, you will gain more and more confidence. There are a number of questions which are being given in the study material besides our other knowledge inputs where we are providing the question bank to you. And then we have complete question on dissolution of partnership. Around 15 marks or 16 marks question is being asked on the dissolution of partnership. Then in partnership, we are covering chapter 2 basically. In chapter 2, we are covering the entire partnership where we are solving the problems of dissolution of partnership besides amalgamation and conversion of partnership firm into company. One small application oriented or CNK question may be asked from NBFC portion under this particular question. So the question is this segment is also very important, because if you have prepared company accounts and partnership thoroughly, you will be able to attempt around 40 marks portion from the question paper correctly. Now coming to question number 4, the sequence of the question may be changed, and the only thing is that we are here to give you the idea like how to prepare, how to decide about the priority of the questions, how to decide about the selection of the topics, and what is the significance of the topic, so that you can prepare accordingly. Consolidated financial statements, again, very important topic. You have to understand what is pre-acquisition profit, what is post-acquisition profit, how to calculate cost of control, how to calculate minority interest, and then to prepare the consolidated financial statements in such a manner that all the working notes, all the notes to accounts are being provided to you by you in the main answer in the examination answer sheets.
Again, consolidation cover the 20 marks question.
Consolidation is a full-fledged question. It may be for 20 marks or 16 marks, but it is generally a full-fledged question. So it's very important topic. And it's a scoring. It's a more scoring topic because there is nothing as such. Only you are required to compute. If you are thorough with the concept of what is the date of acquisition of shares in the company, and how we are calculating the pre or post acquisition profits, how we are calculating the cost of control, or then we have to calculate the minority interest, and then we have to combine all the figures of assets and liabilities of both the companies in the consolidated financial statements. So the notes to accounts are very important along with the working notes here, because we will be showing the workings of our cost of control, goodwill. We will be showing the workings of minority interest in notes in our working notes only. So here it's very important. Generally, what we do, generally the students do the question correctly, but they are not able. They are not providing the working notes, because of which they lose marks. Then we have question number 5, where we are having section 2 and section 3 combination, and we have 2 application oriented questions from this. Section 2 again company accounts portion, where we are having small problem on ESOP or buyback, and then we are having a banking or NBFC question. Generally banking question is being asked under this particular segment, because NBFC question is being asked from along with the partnership question. Question number 6 is a complete question of 4, where we are having one internal choice only also, and here we are having 5 marks questions. 5 parts are being provided to us, where we are supposed to answer any 4 out of 5. The question will be based on section 1 and section 2. Section 1 we have already mentioned about the relevance of accounting standards. 13 accounting standards are covered in the curriculum of paper 5. So you can see the number of accounting standards are more, but the standards are simple. They are not very tricky. If you read the accounting standard thoroughly from the study material, along with the small examples which are being provided by us in the study material, and then you can solve the questions given in test or knowledge portion, then you can solve the questions given in RTPs, previous suggested answers, and you can gain confidence in the portion of accounting standards. Accounting standards are very important, because not only for this particular question, but many other chapters are interconnected. While you will be preparing amalgamated company financial statements in chapter 5, in that also you will have to have the knowledge of AS 40. So question number 6 is there, and up 1 to 6, out of 1 to 6 you have one choice. You can leave any of the questions from question number 2 to question number 6, and then you can decide the questions which you want to attempt. But be thorough with the selection, because many times what happens, we know one part, we do not know other part, and due to which the the choice of selection again becomes a difficult task for us in the examination.
I think students are now aware about the coverage of the marks with each topic. Yeah. Then it will be very helpful for you, so you can prepare your topics according to the marks.
And like the planning is very important. Yeah. The planning is very important, because if you fail to plan, then definitely you are planning to fail, and you will not be able to succeed. So time management, planning, what to study, from where to study, and how to study. These 3 things are very important. From where to study, we know that institute is providing you the study material. From that only you have to study. And how to study, we are giving you the guidance for how to study. However, we are assuming that all of you who are appearing in May 22 examination are right now in the stage of revision. You all have prepared very well for the examination. Right now you are revising. So while revising, you should know how to revise, how to channelize your efforts in the desired direction, so that you can. So regarding essentials of preparation for the paper, you must know your subject very well. You must be familiar with the curriculum, as we have told that the curriculum of paper 5 is being divided by us in 10 chapters, which we are covering in 3 modules of study material. And each chapter is very important. Do not go for selective study. You have to understand the concepts given in the study material of each chapter. You have to solve the problems of each chapter. Do not skip any of the chapters, and do not give leverage to that particular fact that we will be doing it at last moment, and we are not doing this. We can leave this question because you do not know that any of the chapters you are very much sure of that you will be attempting in the question examination hall, but the question is such that you are not familiar with it, or you become nervous after seeing the questions, so you are not able to attempt from that particular topic, or you have to attempt any other question. So do not go for selective study, and familiarize with the knowledge inputs which are being provided by the board of studies. What are the knowledge inputs which are being provided by the board of studies? We are providing you the study material, we are providing you the RTPs. You can refer previous RTPs also for the question bank. We are providing you the suggested answers, and past year examination question papers are also being supplied to you through our knowledge portal.
So lots of inputs, updated inputs are provided by Board of Studies, so you can prepare for your exam.
And how to plan, that is basically how to plan your time. That is mainly important, because now you are having only 2 weeks before the examination. So how to prepare, how to plan your time in such a manner that you go for complete revision of all the concepts which you have already studied earlier. Because besides paper 5, you have all other papers also for which you are required to prepare. So this thing is very clear that we have to study what and how to study, how to prepare notes for the revision. That is very important. This we have already told that the paper of advanced accounting is basically requires the working knowledge of principles and procedures of accounting and their application to different practical situations. 13 accounting standards are covered in the syllabus of paper 5, and we have divided it into 3 modules, 10 chapters. Now, September 2021 edition of the study material is relevant for May 22 examination. Generally, what the students do, they study from the study material, but they might be having the older edition to the study material. So the older editions are not updated. They are not suitable for study for this particular examination, and whatever you are studying, your efforts will go waste, because you are not referring the updated ones. You are reading from the obsolete study material. Some chapters may become redundant in the older versions of the study material. So we would advise to we would advise you to study from the latest edition of the study material, that is September 2021. Regarding September 2021 edition, we would like to address you that there are 2 major revisions which have taken place. One is amendment in Schedule 3, Revision 1 to the Companies Act 2013, where the entire portion of company accounts we have revised. The entire portion of company accounts we have revised means we have updated the questions given in chapter 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we have updated those questions in line with the amendment which has become applicable.
Also, we have updated the chapter 10. It's also based.
Yeah, chapter 10 consolidated financial statements are also being updated accordingly. Because wherever division 1 of schedule 3 is applicable, we have revised. So the students, if you have not referred till now, you can refer the RTP, where you can see that the link where we can find out the revised content, and you can also refer the revised chapters from the BOS knowledge portal. As a chartered accountancy student, you should remember that you should make it a habit to refer the institute website on a regular basis. Continuously, you have to refer the institute website to apprise about the latest development in the subject of any subject, maybe law, maybe accounting, maybe taxation. So this is very important to know that you have to refer the amendment, because whatever way we are reading, if we are reading from not the updated material, that will not suffice the purpose, and we will lose marks because of that.
And all the updated material is hosted on ICI website.
Yeah, we can also show you how to access the website if you want. And simultaneously, when we're taking the queries, we want your active participation in this session. and through which you can raise your queries, you can ask your queries, and we are here to resolve the queries. Any of the difficulty which you are facing while studying any of the particular chapters. The guidance note on share-based payments has also been revised in the year 2020. The revised guidance note is applicable for the topic accounting for employee stock option plans, that is chapter 3 for May 22 examinations. The provisions of the guidance note covered wide variety of employee stock options. Earlier the chapter was restricted, however, we are restricting the chapter to the employee share-based payments only, but the guidance note is more versatile. It gives more scope to stock options which are being either provided to vendors, to lenders, to employees, all sorts of stock options, because of which the entire chapter had to be revised, and the accounting terminology was to be updated in line with the revised guidance note. So this chapter 3, which is being given in September 2021 edition, is quite updated, and it is in line with the revised guidance note which was issued in April 20, which was issued in 2020, and which was made applicable with effect from 1st April 2021. So you should remember that especially for chapter 3 and for the financial statements of companies, wherever the financial statements of companies are being given, either in chapter 5 or in chapter 6 or in chapter 4 or in chapter 10, you are required to go through the revised content.
For chapter 2 also.
For chapter 2, where only the conversion of partnership, where the conversion of partnership firm into company is there only, wherever the company's financial statements is to be prepared, you have to refer the updated material. This is the same thing that September 2021 edition of the study material is applicable for May 22 examination. What are the accounting standards which are covered in your curriculum? AS4, AS5, AS7, AS9, AS14, AS17, AS18, 13 accounting standards in totality is being covered. AS19, AS20, AS22, 24, 26, and 29. Yeah. So in dissolution of partnership firm, we have piecemeal distribution of assets, we have amalgamation of partnership firms, we have conversion of partnership firm into company, and sale to a company, and issues related with LLP. As you know, you must be very thorough with each and every aspect of chapter, whichever is being given in the study material, because you do not know that sometimes we think that this particular portion is less important, this particular portion is not so significant, we can leave this, but you never know that from that particular portion only the question may be asked in the examination. So from examination perspective, we see nothing is unimportant. Everything given in the study material is important, and everything given in the study material has to be understood by you, and you have to take care of all the questions given in the content in the study material so that you can solve them at your own. You can solve them by your own. In company accounts, we are covering accounting for ESOPs, buyback of equity shares with differential rights. Then we have amalgamation. Here we are not covering the problems of intercompany holding. In amalgamation, we are not covering the problem of intercompany holding. Then we have reconstruction of companies, liquidation of companies, and then again module 3, where we are covering banking companies and NBFCs. For chapter of banking companies and NBFCs also, it's very important to refer the updated material, because so many RBI regulations, so many updates are being provided by RBI, so many circulars are being issued by RBI from time to time, which we have to refer, and we have to update the content of our study material accordingly, which is being applicable for the examination also. So you cannot refer the older ones, you have to refer the current updated material only. This addition in the syllabus has already been made with effect from May 20 examination. So I think we are mostly all of us are familiar with it, that partnership is now part of paper 5, and AS4, AS5, AS17 and AS22 are also part of paper 5 curriculum now. Then we come to BOS knowledge inputs. We have already told you that you have to refer the study material, you have to go through the study material, you have to solve the questions given in the RTPs, revision test papers, that means, and suggested answers. For all the academic updates, for all the we are providing you the student journal, and in our paper 5 we are also providing you the capsules. We are providing you the quick references which has been uploaded on the institute website. We are providing you the quick references where we are giving the summarized form of each and every chapter. We are trying to explain through diagrammatic presentations, flowcharts, tabular presentations. We are trying to explain each and everything in such a manner that it becomes more interesting and it becomes more lively for you to understand the things. It will in lesser time you can revise the entire chapter in very less time. So at this point of time, I think it's very it's
The
right.
quick reference is also provided on the IC website.
So yeah, and it's very rightly said that you are advised to refer the quick referencer at this point of time because this will lead to revision in very less time. Mock test papers are again very important factor because as you know that some rehearsal sort of thing is required before appearing for the final examination. So by attempting the mock test paper under stimulated examination conditions, under such conditions which you will be knowing that you will be able to attempt the question paper within the time limit or not, whether you know the whether you are clear with the chapters or not, you will be able to know the weaknesses, your deficiencies in the answers which you can overcome. How will you know the deficiencies in the answers? As you know, these mock test papers we are providing to you and they are being hosted on the website. You can also register yourself with the branches and you can also attempt the mock test papers in the branches. So after your in the branches, they will provide you the evaluation facility where you can know where you can know that at what level you are standing, how much efforts are more required to you, and in which particular area you are weak, in which particular area you are lacking, where you require more efforts. You can also refer the answers if you are not you have not attempted the branches, you have not attempted the question papers in the branches, you can refer our website. You can download the question papers, you can attempt those question papers, and then the answers are also available on the website, which you can refer, and you can know the area of your deficiency, where you are lacking, where you need to improve.
You can self-evaluate yourself. Some students also ask the queries that they skip the registration regarding the mock test paper at the branches.
No need to worry. Even if you have skipped, you can attempt the question papers at your own. In your at your home only, you can fix some place or some time, and you can solve the question paper in the time prescribed. And you can compare your answers with the answers already posted on the website. You can also approach Board of Studies for that. That they, if you are lacking at one particular area, or if you are not finding that you have not attempted suitable answers for 2 or 3 questions, you can approach Board of Studies and you can ask for the guidance, where we can provide you the guidance how to attempt the question paper and how to write the answers for that particular question. All the amendments, all the notifications, circulars, rules, guidelines issued by the regulating authority up to 31st October 2021 is relevant for May 22 examination. As the cutoff date is 6 months, so any amendment which has been issued till the date of 31st October 2021 are being applicable for May 22 examination. This is especially with reference to banking and NBFCs and all other provisions also of the Companies Act, SEBI regulations, whatever is being applicable for the curriculum, they are being applicable for May 22 examination. NDS, as we know, that they are not applicable. We have to study only the accounting standards which are given in the syllabus. You can simultaneously ask your queries also. We will be addressing in between the session the queries which are being asked to us. This is regarding how to prepare for the accounting standards. in chapter 1, we are giving the content of the, we have explained the accounting standards in easy language for the better understanding. However, if you want, you can refer the bare text of accounting standards. We are also providing the accounting pronouncement booklet. We are giving you the bare text of accounting standards. In how to refer the bare text, we have to read only those paras which are in bold and italics, and apply. We have to apply the provisions through examples. What type of examples? Small examples we are giving in the study material itself. If you have studied the study material thoroughly, you will be knowing that small examples we are given in the study material, and we are providing the questions also, variety of questions also in the test your knowledge section, where you can solve the questions accordingly. You can solve the questions on your own, and answers are also being provided. After studying each standard explained in a chapter, you are advised to refer the bare text of accounting standards, which will build your strong conceptual knowledge on the accounting standards specified in the syllabus.
The understanding of these accounting standards and the thorough understanding of these accounting standards is very much necessary, because it covers the 20 to 25 marks of the question paper.
Rather more than, sometimes even
more than 25.
30 marks portion may be asked from this particular.
So don't skip the accounting standard portion, because your 30 marks will cover through these accounting standards only. And it is also the compulsory question which you have to attempt in the question paper. So try to cover all these accounting standards. These all 13 accounting standards are very much easy, and they will give you all the entire the provisions, how to treat the items as per these accounting standards.
Yes, the disclosure requirements, the recognition requirements, how to calculate the measurement requirements, they are being given in the accounting standards, which you are supposed to be thorough with those provisions, and then only you will be able to know the, like in AS 26, we should know the recognition criteria of intangible asset. We should know how where the value of intangible asset is more than what should be as per the recognition criteria, then we have to de-recognize it. Then we have to write it off, and we have to charge it to P&L account.
Actually, students are very fear about these topics now. They don't want to learn the accounting standards.
You have not to learn the accounting standards. Basically, you have
to understand it.
You have to understand the question. You should know. It is about discontinuing operation. You should know what is the definition of discontinuing operation. When any particular segment of a business, or when any particular operation of a business will be treated as discontinuing operation, how we will have to treat the particular situation as discontinuing one. So each and every component of the question has to be studied very carefully. Then only we will be able to analyze the situation in line with the accounting standard, and then only we will be able to justify the accounting treatment. Now there are two types of situations where in such particular question which is being asked in the examination question paper. Firstly, in the question it is being asked that this is a particular accounting situation which is being provided to us, and we do not know the accounting treatment. So being CA student, you are asked to write the accounting treatment for that. Then there is no problem. You know that accounting treatment, whether it's intangible asset, whether it's if it's a lease question, then you have to see that whether it's operating lease or finance lease, then you have to give the accounting treatment. But in majority of the questions, what happens that we are given the accounting treatment in the question itself, and we are given the wrong accounting treatment. We have to justify the accounting treatment, and we have to say that this accounting treatment is incorrect. It should have been like this. Then what will you do? You will write that this particular accounting treatment is not correct. This should have been there, and how we will be justifying our answer in line is how to substantiate the answer as per the provisions of AS. Whatever AS is applicable. This particular AS is applicable. This particular section says, this particular para says that this should have been there. But in the question given in the question paper, this treatment has been done by the accountant, which is completely wrong, and it is not in line with the accounting standard. So you have to justify your, not only writing the treatment, Not only writing the treatment will give you marks, but you have to justify the treatment, whatever you are providing the answer, you have to substantiate it with provisions of accounting standards. That is
For
very
accounting
important.
standards question, you have to give the whole complete answer, not just given by the one line answer.
Yeah. Because it's not something where the definition is being asked. It is not something like that. If you are being asked a particular definition and you can.
They required what is the treatment of the items. So you have to justify your answer with the complete provisions and the proper treatment as per the accounting standard.
Yes, right. A partnership, we have already told what is covered in a partnership and what is the important provisions of the chapter of partnership. We can go through quickly. On dissolution of partnership, firstly, assets of the firm, including goodwill, are being realized. Then the amount realized is being paid accordingly as per the sequence of the liabilities towards which is being given to us. And we have to see that first of all, we have to pay to the outsiders, then only the liabilities towards partners will be settled. The most important concept here is Garner versus Murray rule, where we have to see that if any partner is insolvent, what treatment is to be done, how the realization loss has to be brought in by the solvent partners, and how the insolvency of the partner has to be divided among the solvent partners. This is very important. And then we have to prepare the realization account. We are also being asked to prepare the balance sheet of the new partnership firm, how to settle the accounts of the partners. That is again important concept. While preparing the questions of conversion of partnership into company or amalgamation of partnership firms, we have to see how to calculate the purchase consideration, how to pay the purchase consideration to both the firms, and then how to solve the questions of amalgamation of partnership firms. Then conversion also. In conversion, we have to see that we have to prepare the balance sheet of the converted entity, that is company, as per Schedule 3 format. So this thing is very important to be understood in the partnership chapter. This we have already explained that Garner versus Murray rule is there, and solvent partners have to bear the loss due to insolvency of partner and have to categorically bring the normal loss on realization of assets to be brought, including insolvent partner, in the profit sharing ratio. But a loss due to insolvency of a partner has to be borne by them, by the solvent partners, in the capital ratio which is being existed on that particular date. How to calculate capital ratio on insolvency? If they are maintaining capital as a fixed amount, then how to solve it? If they are maintaining it variable amounts, then through current account. If they are maintaining fluctuating, then how to solve? These type of numerous examples are being given in the study material for this, where you can solve and you can attain confidence. But the one important point you should remember is that if some partner is having a debit balance in his capital account and is not insolvent, if he is having a debit balance in his capital account and is not insolvent, then he cannot be called upon to bear the loss on account of insolvency of the other partners. This is very important, and this you must remember. By solving the questions, you must see all the important information. All the information in the question is to be judged. All the information in the question is to be assimilated in such a manner that you are able to solve the question, and no information is missed while attempting the question while leading the question, while solving the question. No information is to be missed. This is the same thing which we have already explained. Piecemeal distribution method describes two methods: maximum loss method and highest rated method. In maximum loss method, each installment realized is considered to be the last payment, is considered to be the final payment, and then you have to consider that this is the final payment. So now we have to stop, and we should at that particular point of time we should arrive at the loss, whatever loss we are calculating. So if this is the last payment after settlement, then what loss is to be calculated? That has to be divided among the partners in their profit sharing ratio. In highest rated capital method, the partner whose capital is greater in proportion to his profit sharing ratio is first paid off. So basically you have to see the proportionate capitals. You have to see the ratio, the profit sharing ratio, and then the proportionate capitals are to be calculated, and accordingly whatever whose ratio whose relative capital is highest, that particular partner has to be paid first, and all other partners are then made in synchronized with the capitals of the remaining partners. Then we have amalgamation of firms. As we have seen in amalgamation of firms, we have to close the books of the old firm, and then we have to create the books of the new firm. While closing the books of the old firm, we have to prepare a revaluation account. We have to raise the entries for goodwill. All the assets and liabilities not taken over by the new firm should be transferred to the capital accounts of the partners in the ratio of their capitals. The new firm should be debited with the difference between the value of assets and liabilities taken over, that is basically purchase consideration. This is the amount of purchase consideration. In fact, partners' capital account should be transferred to the new firm's account in the form of they will issue the shares in the profit sharing ratio, whatever the terms are being given to us in the question. So this was all regarding the amalgamation of partnership firms. LLP is again a very it's a very theoretical portion. However, in our study material only few pages are given on LLP. You have to read them, you have to learn them, and some important questions from LLP you can refer from the RTP or the previous suggested answers, and only those theoretical questions generally being asked from this particular chapter. So nothing to worry about much. 4 marks question will be asked from LLP, not more than that, 4 or 5 marks, and that you can learn from the 10 to 12 questions which are being provided by us in our question bank from this particular chapter.
So it is very easy to attain the 4 to 5 marks.
Yes.
By learning the only 7 to 8 questions, you can attain the 4 to 5 marks.
Yes. So now come to chapter 3. As we know, as we have already told that in chapter 3, there has been amendment. The share-based payments guidance note was newly issued. You can say revised in 2020 year, and the entire chapter 3 has been revised in line with the guidance note of 2020. So the crux of the accounting has been little bit changed. The terminologies have been changed, and they have been revised in line with the guidance note in chapter 3. As you know, ESOP is an option given to directors, officers, or permanent employees of a company to subscribe the securities offered by the company at a future date at a predetermined price. So this is a basic crux of ESOP, and what we have to see that in each year, suppose the lock-in period is 3 years, or suppose after 3 years the ESOPs are to be issued to the employees, then we have to see that how we will be doing the accounting for ESOPs. In first year, what expense should be charged to P&L. In second year, what expense should be charged to P&L. So basically these terminologies we have to be very thorough with. We have to study from the study material. The main important crux is we have to transfer the allocated employee compensation expense to profit and loss account in the accounting years concerned. So that computation is very important, and that journal entry is very significant, how to write off the amount to P&L account and how to transfer this particular amount as an expense to P&L account. What will be there in the employees ESOP's outstanding account, what amount will be lying in that particular account. Under buyback, that is chapter 4, where you have to understand the provisions of Companies Act, that buyback of shares can be made out of free reserves, securities premium, or proceeds of any kind of shares or other securities. So it means when we are buying up any shares, then if we are making some fresh equity, then from if we are buying some particular shares and if we are making some fresh equity, then what amount is to be transferred to capital reduction reserve? Because the capital structure of the company in the buyback, the capital structure of the company has to be remained intact. What does it mean? That if you are doing the buyback of 50 lakh shares, then either you have to transfer the nominal value of these 50 lakh shares to capital redemption reserve, or if you are issuing fresh equity of 20 lakh, then by the balance amount you can transfer the amount of to CRR. The capital structure, the shareholders fund should not be disturbed. That should remain intact. That is the main crux of this particular section of the Companies Act, where we are not permitted to change. We are not permitted to alter our capital structure. We cannot reduce the capital structure, and we have to maintain it intact. That is why whatever amount we are buying it, whatever amount of equity, nominal value of equity shares we are buying, either we are allotting the new equity shares, or we are transferring the amount of that particular bought amount to capital redemption reserve. So this is all about buyback. That buyback can be either made out of reserves or securities premium, or the proceeds of any kind of shares or the specified securities. And no company shall purchase its own shares or the securities unless the buyback is authorized by articles of association, or it is being passed by special resolution. The buyback of equity shares in any financial company shall not exceed 25% of its paid up capital in that financial year. The ratio of debt owned by the company is not more than twice the capital and reserves after such buyback. This is very important because in some scenarios, in some questions, we are required to judge what amount, what number of shares we can buy back, and that can be computed through simultaneous equation. We are preparing simultaneous equation here. You can see how we have solved this type of questions in our test knowledge as well as in our examples, which we are giving in chapter 4. And as per SEBI, no offer of buyback for 15% or more of the paid up capital increase of the company shall be made from the open market. So in the question, you have to see that the criteria is if the company is asking for more buyback, then we can only buy back up to 25% or 15% if it's a listed company. Then we have chapter 5. We are trying to cover the important concepts of all the chapters here, so that you can brush up your revision. You can go with us, and you can brush up your revision, and you can solve the questions accordingly. As you know, in an amalgamation, 2 or more companies are combined into one by merger or by taking the other. It is basically external reconstruction, and what you have to see, what is the main important criteria while doing the question of amalgamation. First of all, you have to see that AS 14 is applicable here. So we would advise you that while preparing for AS 14 of chapter 1, you can simultaneously prepare for chapter 5. You can see the 5 conditions given in AS 14 for amalgamation in the nature of merger. If those 5 conditions are fulfilled, then only it is a amalgamation in the nature of merger. Then the pooling of interest method will be applicable. If those 5, if any of the condition is not fulfilled out of those 5 conditions, then what method will be applicable? Purchase method will be applicable. So which method of accounting is to be applied in amalgamation, that has to be decided. That has to be judged at the first seeing of the question. That you have to see that you have to check the conditions, whether these conditions are satisfied or not. If these conditions are not satisfied, then it is a question of purchase method. We have to apply the purchase method. If any of the specified conditions not fulfilled in amalgamation, so it is in the nature of purchase. So this is very important to be judged from the examination perspective also, because if you are not aware, if you are not familiarized with the type of amalgamation, you will not be able to solve the question in the desired manner. What is reconstruction? Reconstruction is a process by which affairs of the company are reorganized by revaluation of assets, reassessment of liabilities, and by writing off the losses. When this situation occurs, amalgamation. So we are able to know that amalgamation of the companies is basically when the company wants to grow big, or when it wants to economize a large scale of economies. And in the current scenario, where the companies are pooling up, where the companies are finding the opportunities to merge with each other to increase the scale of their operations to become more big, they are applying the terminology of amalgamation. What is reconstruction? Reconstruction is basically done because when the company is continuously suffering from losses, then it wants to reconstruct, so that by reducing the paid up value of shares, or by varying the rights attached to different classes of shares, it wants to reconstruct itself so that the losses can be minimized up to a certain extent. The previous losses can be written off through capital reduction account, and the certain assets, certain intangibles, certain fictitious assets or intangibles, the company wants to write off through capital reduction account or reconstruction account, we can say. These are the conditions which we were referring to in AS 40, that all the assets and liabilities of the transfer company become after amalgamation, after liabilities of the transferee company. Now the main purpose of this showing is this: you are familiar with these conditions, but if any of the condition, if suppose this condition is not fulfilled, or if suppose shareholders holding not less than 90% of the face value of the equity shares of the transfer company immediately become the shareholders of the transferee company, if this condition is not fulfilled, if any of the conditions is not satisfied, then amalgamation will not be in the nature of merger, it will be in the nature of purchase only. These are the methods of internal reconstruction. Majority of the questions are based on this only. Then we have liquidation. Liquidation is again very important topic, where the company is being liquidated and where we are preparing the statement of affairs. But we have to prepare the statement of affairs as per the form prescribed by the Companies Act. How to draw deficiency account and how to point out the reasons why the deficiency has been there. How to distinguish between preferential payments and overriding preferential payments, because we have to set priority. We have to first of all pay the preferential payments, and then only we can come to the other payments. First of all, we have to pay the preferential payments. Under banking companies, we have to see what are the important classification and how to provide for provisions on these particular classified advances. What is the rate of provision for standard asset? What is the rate of provision for substandard asset or doubtful asset? Under doubtful, again the time criteria is there. If it's up to 3 years, then what is the rate? If it's up to 3 to 5 years, what is the rate? So that, and if it's a loss asset, then also what is the rate of provisioning? The provision on standard asset should not be reckoned for arriving at the net NPAs. So I think you must be familiar with the provisioning rate, that under doubtful what kind of rate we have to apply. In loss, we have to provide for 100%. These are the basically general instructions while preparing, while solving the questions in the examination, which we must remember, because these rates we have to remember anyway. Somewhere while preparing the financial statements of banking companies, the format of banking companies is also to be remembered besides Schedule 3 format. Schedule 3 format is applicable for the companies, all the companies, wherever you are required to solve, whether it's amalgamation question, whether it's reconstruction question, whether it's liquidation question. But whenever the question on banking company accounts will be asked, in that you have to remember the format of banking companies, which has been specified by the RBI, which is given in the last unit of our chapter 8. The numerous questions are also there given there, where we are preparing the financial statements of banking companies. Rebate on bills discounted is a very simple concept. We are having 5 to 6 marks questions in the study material also. Around the weightage is 5 to 6 marks in the question paper also. So I think this is very easy concept. where you can score marks. Only little bit computations are there, little bit understanding is required, and you can score good marks in this particular topic. You are required to learn how to prepare profit and loss account and balance sheet of a bank. You are required to see the tax provision, transfer to statutory reserve, provisions on non-performing assets. We have already told you that you have to create provision on non-performing assets. Income recognition NPAs, because no income is to be recognized or NPA unless and until you are very sure that you will be able to achieve this income, because we are following the accrual basis of accounting. This was about the concepts which are being
related to accounting standards.
Yeah, this was all about the concepts which were given in the study material. We were trying to reconcile the important provisions. We were trying to reconcile the important concepts given in the study material. Now we will guide you about how to strategize your efforts in such a manner that you are able to write good answers in the examination. You are able to solve the questions in the correct manner in the examination center. While attempting the questions, you have to see that what is the requirement of the question, what all the question requires, whether it's requiring the preparation of financial statements. Sometimes we do not understand the requirement of the question and we start solving the question. We do not understand without understanding the requirement of the question, if we start solving the question, then it will be of no use. We have to understand that how many marks are there, what is the requirement of the question, whether the question wants us to solve certain aspects, or whether the question wants us to prepare the financial statements, whether the question wants us to prepare a statement of profit and loss or balance sheet. Sometimes in the consolidated financial statements question and the consolidation chapter, sometimes a question, even this time in December 21 also, the question was asked on statement of profit and loss. But the students were confused. First of all, they started preparing the balance sheet, because in generally in consolidation question, the balance sheet is being asked by the students. So by the you cannot just.
So you should aware about what is the requirement of the question and provide your answer on the basis of requirement only.
Yeah, because it's not like that if you can judge the previous trend, or you can say that in this particular type of question, this particular aspect is being asked. So we cannot start solving that particular aspect unless until we are not sure of that what the question is asking from us, what the question is demanding from us. This is basically the case scenario based question, or basically the practical question where of accounting standard, where we have to analyze the facts of the case, analyze the facts of the given situation, and we have to see what particular accounting standard is applicable. First of all, we have to analyze that sometimes what happens, we are not convinced while attempting the question. We are not convinced that whether which particular accounting standard is applicable in this particular case, whether it is.
Sometimes the accounting standards names are provided in the question.
Sometimes accounting standard names are being provided in the question. Then we do not have any issue. But generally, what happens? The paper setter just say that you are required to answer the question in line with provisions of accounting standards, and not mentioning the name of the accounting standard.
Then students got confused on which accounting standards they have to give answer. They confused because they have not read the provisions of accounting standards thoroughly. If you read it thoroughly, then easily you can correlate what is the requirement of the question and on which accounting standards you have to give your answer.
And application of the provisions of the accounting standards in the
and then conclude,
and then you can conclude your answer. So conclusion of the answer is very important, specifically in respect of accounting standard question, because if you are not saying that whether it is correct or it's incorrect, whatever the treatment is given in the question, what is the conclusion for your answer, then
you will lose the marks.
Yeah, you will lose the marks. You will not get there. The question is of 5 marks, and for each particular question on accounting standard, you can gain at least 4 or 4.5 marks if you have attempted it correctly. As you know that accounting is a very scoring paper. If you know the concepts, if you can solve the question paper correctly, if you can solve the questions important topics correctly, you will definitely gain marks. And
it will help you to you complete your entire group also, na?
Yeah, it will help you to complete the entire group also. Besides, the main important thing is that even if we have seen that majority of the students are quite familiar with the topics. They are quite familiar with the topics and they know the how to solve the questions also. But we do not know that while facing the question paper in the examination, they become nervous, their confidence is shattered, and they fumble up with the figures. Either they write the wrong figures while reading the question from the question paper, or while carrying out the figures to the next pages, they make the mistakes. So these things should be avoided.
I
And
think, ma'am, these problems comes only when they don't practice or written.
yeah, that may be correct, but in that case, you should work hard and you should practice more and more so that you can gain confidence while attempting the question in the examination hall.
Attempt mock test paper aloud, so it will help you in examination scenario, how you can handle the question paper, how you can attempt your answer. So we always advise the students, you go for the mock test paper either on the branch you can go, or either you, if you are not able to go to attempt the mock test paper at any branch, then mock test papers are also hosted on the ICI website.
Yeah, mock tests are very important to be because basically they are providing you the sort of training ground how to appear in the main examination. If you're not sure of any particular question in the exam, if you're not sure of any particular topic in that particular mock test paper, you can know at well in advance. You can know that this particular topic I am weak in. This particular topic is not I am not comfortable with. So I have to work hard on that particular topic, and then you can proceed accordingly. You can put more efforts for that particular concept, and you can solve number of questions on that particular chapter, and you can have confidence accordingly. So as you know that definitely paper 1 was quite simpler as compared to paper 5. Paper 5 has little bit more advanced topics. The paper 1 was quite simpler, but still as you have to progress in your life, you have to progress ahead, then you have to learn more complicated things. However, paper 5 syllabus is also not very complicated. In the final level, the paper of financial reporting, when you will study, you will have to seriously learn about the Indias which are more advanced than accounting standards. Accounting standards are still very simple. Accounting standards are not so complicated. And we have tried to explain each and every concept of accounting standard in our chapter 1 of the study material in very simple language, in very easy language, which will help you to gain confidence, which will not very difficult in very difficult language. So I think reading is more important. Practicing is another important aspect of your preparation for, especially for accounting paper. Practicing is more important, and understanding the requirement of the question, because if you have prepared well, then also you cannot be very sure that you will gain marks if you have not attempted the question paper correctly, if you have not attempted the questions correctly. So besides preparing, how to tackle the exam is again important aspect of your chartered accountancy course. If you want to succeed, the success is dependent on the attempt of your examination. So you have to how you have to write the answers in the examination, that is very important. We will give you guidance. Besides this, we will give you guidance how to appear in the examination, how to face the examination, how to utilize the time which is being provided to you in the examination hall. So that we will give you the guidance. This is regarding strategy for preparation. You have to acquaint yourself with the syllabus. You have to assimilate the knowledge inputs provided by the Board of Studies. Knowledge inputs, we have already told you that we are providing with the study material, we are providing with the suggested answers, RTPs, we are providing with the mock test papers, we are providing with the quick references, and you have to plan your studies in a manner that you keep at least 2 rounds of revision after your study. So I think that phase is over by now, and
we have only 15 days.
You all must be under the phase of your revision only. You have to practice solving a good number of questions on each topic. However, right now you don't have that much time. You can decide upon you can even select some important questions from the topics, because each and every question now you cannot solve. Some important questions can be selected from the topics, and then you can solve them. You can write some important adjustment by way of your by way of notes, which you can brush up at the time of 1 or 2 days before the examination, because right now only 15 days are left with you. So you have to be more channelized, you have to be more focused, and you have to give your complete to the paper. Otherwise you will not be able to succeed. Prepare necessary notes. If you want, you can prepare certain notes for especially regarding the provisioning dates in banking companies, NBFCs, formats, and certain tricky adjustments wherever you are facing in amalgamation or reconstruction. So those things you can keep as a reference, and while revising at the last point of time, you can just give a quick revision of those notes. Keep yourself updated. As we all know that we have to keep as a continuous effort, we should keep ourselves updated, because without being updated, we will be referring the old amendments, or we will be referring the older versions of the study material, which is not applicable for the examination. Theory question, I think you don't have much theory in your paper. Hardly LLP question will be there, or maybe a little bit of question may be asked from AS, where the theory portion may be asked. So there is no as such much theory. Sometimes what happens while attempting the question in the examination, there may be two approaches. Like I have told you that you have to see that whether what particular approach is being suitable for that particular question. Sometimes both approaches can be adopted. In that case, you have to write your assumption very clearly on what basis you are giving the answer. Suppose some information in the question may be lacking. If some information in the question is lacking, or if some information in the question has two meanings, where you can have two interpretations, where you can have two assumptions, then by solving the question, you are advised to write the assumption which you have taken. Otherwise, the evaluator will not know the basis of your answer and will give the complete zero to you, will not allot any marks to you unless you are not justifying the basis of your answer. Suppose in doubtful assets case, the time period is not specified to you in banking company. So you are not sure whether you have to provide 40% rate of provision, whether it's 1 to 3 years, whether it's 3 to 5 years, whether you have to provide 40%. Then you can just mention that on the basis of this particular time period, we are providing the provisioning rate here. You should study the topics in an integrated manner, as we have told you that while preparing for AS 14, you can simultaneously prepare for chapter 5 also. And the objective should be to gain knowledge in the working scenario. The objective should be, however, the objective is not only to gain knowledge, but the objective is also to clear the examination, but still the knowledge should be attained, and not just rote learning we are not promoting. You should understand the concept, you should understand the AS, you should understand the topics, then only you should solve the questions. Directly jumping to the questions without understanding the theory of the chapter, without understanding the contents given in the chapter, will not be good enough. So this is very important. This is very important. We will focus more on this, how to manage time in the examination. First of all, you are given 15 minutes for reading. So each student should make it a habit to effectively utilize this 15 minutes. How we can effectively utilize this 15 minutes? We can decide upon the questions which we will be attempting in this 15 minutes time, and what will be the sequence of the questions. What question we will be attempting at first, and what question we will be attempting at last. This sequence we can decide at this point of time without wasting much time, because we know that which is the question which we are most comfortable with. Go through all the questions quickly and then decide upon, select the question that you will be attempting from all the questions at first. Mark the question which you will be attempting at first. Allocate an estimated time for questions based on their difficulty level and marks carried, keeping aside 10-15 minutes for revision. What does it mean? It means that you are having 3 hours time and then you have to attempt 5 questions in total. So 25 to 30 minutes you can give for each question, and in the last you will be having 15-20 minutes, 10-15 minutes for revision, where you can see that in any particular question, have you done any conceptual mistake or have you done any calculation mistakes which you can rectify. But if you do not have time at the last, then you will not be able to rectify, you will not be able to correct your answers. So you should be having at least little bit of time where you can revise your answers and you can judge where you are, where you have made mistake, or you can correct that. Write each answer in commensurate with the marks. Here we are not writing, we have to see the requirement of the question and then only we can give the answer accordingly. Setting of hands of calculator is also very important. Whatever calculator you will be using in the examination, you should practice on that calculator beforehand, and you should know that you are comfortable with that calculator, because otherwise your time will be wasted in the examination hall while doing the calculations. Now, this was, first of all, we had told you that how to write, how to manage time in the examination. Now we will be guiding you about how to attempt questions in exam. How to attempt question in exam means like what way you will be attempting the questions in exam. First of all, you have to give all the necessary working notes as part of the main solution, because the working notes carry marks. As you know that in our CA examination, we are having step-by-step marking. Each step carries marks, but working notes also have equally weightage and they also carry marks. If there are many approaches to solve a problem, mention the assumptions which you have taken while solving the question. As we have already told you that while attempting the question, you have to specify that this particular assumption you are taking, and on the basis of which you are solving the question. In case of question based on practical application of AS, support the answer with the provision of that particular accounting standard. AS 19 says that if these conditions are specified, then it's a operating lease, otherwise it's not operating lease, otherwise it's finance lease. Then you have to specify that AS 19 says what, and according to which conditions, according to these conditions, we are categorizing the lease as per this, and now as per finance lease, the accounting treatment should be like this. So entire situation, the entire crux of the AS should be given in the answer as per the requirement of the question. If the question wants you to write the treatment of sale and leaseback transaction, then you have to give the sale and leaseback transaction treatment. If the question asks you to give the accounting treatment for the lease itself, you have to, first of all, you have to specify what kind of lease it is, and then you have to give the accounting treatment accordingly. Do not mention wrong accounting standard name or number or para number in the solution. If you're not sure of any particular para number, or if you're not sure of particular AS number, then you do not quote it. You just write accounting standard or intangible asset, accounting standard on discontinuing operations, accounting standard on leases. If you're not thorough with which particular para says what, you just write that AS 19 says that finance lease is this, and accordingly the treatment is this. So this will not give you any lesser marks. Give all necessary working notes as part of main solution. Now, what are the general mistakes which are being committed by the students? General mistakes which are being committed by the students. In standard-based questions, students are not substantiating their answer with the provisions of accounting standards. While reading out the figures from the question paper and by solving the question, the students make mistakes. Either they read 1 lakh as 10,000, or they read 10,000 as 1 lakh and solve the question accordingly, skipping some zeros, or reading out the figure 2 as 3, 3 as 4. Sometimes because of their nervousness, they make mistakes which should be avoided, because of these mistakes, even if your method of solving the question is perfectly all right, but still, because the final answer is not correct, your figures are not correct, you will lose marks. Wrong carry forward of the amounts from one page to another is again a problem, that while carrying out the figures from one page to another, the students make mistakes, and because of which their final answer is again incorrect. Most of the topics they are not very comfortable with, as they have gone for selective study. If you have gone for selective study, then definitely you will not be able to attempt all the questions. But you should never go for selective study, but you should be very thorough with all the topics, and you should practice each and every question from the study material. Because in the examination question paper, if the questions will be familiar, if you will find the questions familiar, you will gain confidence and you will not do any mistakes over there. Format of the financial statements, very important. Schedule 3 is very important, as we have told you that in all the companies questions, in all the questions where you are asked to prepare the financial statement of companies, you have to abide by Schedule 3 format. So you cannot skip you have to take care of the format, you have to take care of the criteria in assessing of the parameters as per Schedule 3 only. Sometimes the answers are not reflecting the amendments, they are based on the old provisions, so that also you have to take care that the updated edition only you have to refer, and along with make it a habit to refer the RTPs also. In RTP, all the significant amendments are given to you at one place. All the questions are being given to you at one place. You can solve each and every question. They are the important questions. You can solve each and every question, and you can judge yourself where your preparation is. You have to provide all necessary working notes, which forms part of the main solution. These are the continuing with the general mistakes only. That sometimes what happens, we are very comfortable with the questions which are being provided to us already, which we are familiar with already. But while seeing the question in the examination, any twist in the question put us in difficulty, because we are not able some new adjustment, after seeing some new adjustment in the question. Suppose in the question there is some new adjustment or some new item which we are fumbled with, we are confused, we are not able to attempt. So try to understand the question, not only remember the question, but understand the requirement of the question, then solve it accordingly. Do not give irrelevant details while spending unnecessary and do not spend unnecessary time on the questions which where the information is, whatever the requirement of the question is there, then only solve it accordingly. Focus on the information given in the question, read the information given in the question very carefully, and solve the question accordingly. Any twist in the question should not put you in a difficult situation, should not put you in any uncomfortable situation, and this will happen only when you have practiced number of questions from each topic. Sufficient number of questions from each topic if you have solved, then I think the problem would not be there. Do not go for selective study. Focus on conceptual understanding of each topic, so that your analytical skills can be developed and you can solve the question in the examination. Do adequate written practice of the theoretical or numerical questions. This will help you in time management, and this will also help you in attaining speed. Because time is very important. If one particular adjustment is wrong, is attempted wrong by us in our answers, then we have to solve it again. And by solving it again means another slot of 15-20 minutes is wasted. Sometimes by preparing the financial statements, our asset and liability side is not matching. Our equity and liability side and asset side is not matching. In that case, we should not waste much time on that, and we should proceed. We should run to the another question, because with if we waste time on that particular question again and again, the whole time is wasted on that. Maybe 1 hour is wasted and our balance sheet is still not tallied. So without wasting much time, we should proceed to the next questions and come back to it again after attempting the entire question paper. If we have time, we can come back to it again, and then we can try to match it again. Be careful while using the information given in the question for solving the question. Assess your preparation level by attempting previous year question papers under mock examination conditions. So this is about how to face the examination question paper and what are the general mistakes which are being committed by the students while writing the answers while solving the question in the examination hall. As you know that first 15 minutes you can utilize for we have already discussed for reading and selection of the questions.
As we have already discussed how to utilize your 15 minutes. Now moving to the, if you have any query, you can ask us. This is
the email ID of Board of Studies where you can ask the queries accounting-inter@ici.in. If you have any particular queries from this for paper 5 or paper 1, you can ask at this particular ID. You can also ask the queries through POS mobile app where we can solve the queries. Let us take the queries if any has come. Majority of the students are just asking that they are not able to complete the paper and how to revise now the time is very limited, so how to revise the contents given in the study material now at this point of time. So we would like you to focus on the chapters, and the syllabus is not very vast. You have only 10 chapters in your study material. You can revise the theory as well as the practical portion, and the majority revision will be required in the chapters where you have to understand the rates, like in banking companies, NBFCs, where you have to remember the rates. So first of all, you should remember those rates. Only the understanding of the concepts would not suffice the purpose here, but you have to remember the rates of provisioning also. And in accounting science chapter also, you have to thoroughly understand the concept. While revising the concept, you have to solve the as number of practical problems as you can solve, whether it's amalgamation or whether it's internal reconstruction. So besides revision, you have to solve more and more questions. You will gain confidence only then. And how to utilize the time period of 3 hours in the examination hall. This is also very important. So as you know that the question paper is generally left by the students and they are not able to attempt the question paper. You have to channelize your efforts in such a manner that the period of 3 hours is completely utilized by you and no time is being wasted. You can attain more and more marks. I would not say full marks, but I want you to attain highest marks in the paper of accounting so that you can boost up your aggregate also, and you can clear the examination with flying colors. If any of the queries is there, we can handle. I think mock test papers all of you might have attempted in paper 5. Should we move to the mock test paper or should we continue with the queries? Under mock test paper also you can see that we have set the question paper as per the question paper pattern of the examination only. So question number 1 is based on accounting standards. One complete question is there on partnership. You can see from the mock test paper also.
I think we can go through the institute website, so it will be helpful for the students.
Are you able to see our screen? We want to show you that how you can access our website and how you can refer the updated material also herein. Mock test papers, revised study material, everything is being given here.
Under this ribbon, under the heading of students, you can go through there. There is announcements where the important announcements by Board of Studies is provided here. Under the Board of Studies Knowledge Portal, all the materials, mock test papers, RTPs, all are available at this site only.
Please also show the quick referencer also, because
Yeah.
at this point of time, I think the quick referencer will be quite useful for the students, because at this time they are revising the entire syllabus.
Under this ribbon, we will go to the intermediate course. In intermediate course, we have this in the last of the table. There is a reference for the quick revision for group 1 and group 2. Right now we are in paper 5. This is group 2. We will go through it, and when you click it, it will be downloaded. You can go through it and find out the quick reference here.
And how to go for the mock test papers?
For the mock test paper, for the latest mock test papers, these are on the under the study material, RTPs, suggested, and MTPs. The two series are uploaded here, and also the quick reference is also given under the subject only. Here is the quick revision. It is a very helpful tool for students during the revision time in examination.
Under quick referencer, the majority of the chapters have been explained through, they have been explained to summarized formats, diagrammatic presentations, so that you can quickly see and you can quickly understand the concepts of the chapters without wasting much time. It's a very, they are really helpful for revising the content that at this point of time when the exams are nearby.
If you need only the question papers, then previous year question papers are also provided here. In the MTP, there are the two series of MTPs are uploaded here. Under the suggested, from 2020 to December 21, all suggested are also uploaded here.
What is the difference between suggested answers and question papers? You can see that in the suggested answers, we are providing with the answers also. The answers also to the previous examination question papers are being provided. But in the question papers, only the question papers are there. You can solve the question papers. I think it would be better if you solve the question papers and then you can compare your answers with the suggested answers. Then you can judge yourself. It would be better evaluation of yourself, your performance.
And students who have the study material, not the latest study material, you can go through this study material. All the study material, updated study material is posted at here. You can go through it and it will help you.
Make it a habit, dear students, make it a habit to refer the institute website on a regular basis, because this will keep you updated. As a CA student, you should be abreast with the all latest developments in the field of accounting, taxation, laws, and you have to continuously keep yourself updated, abreast with the recent developments in these fields, because otherwise, if you are not updated, you will not be able to survive in the real world. You will not be able to survive in the this competitive world, and you have to keep yourself updated. So basically, the purpose of our counseling session is that you can be aware of the steps for preparation, tips for preparation, how to plan your studies, how to manage your time in the effective manner, how to write the answers in the examination, so that you can definitely gain more confidence and you can boost up your aggregate by having more marks by having more marks in the paper of accounting, rather advanced accounting paper 5, and this will definitely boost your confidence if you gain more and more, if you solve more and more questions. So adequate practice of the practical questions will definitely give you more confidence, and you will attain when you will attain confidence, then definitely you will score better in the examination. You will not become nervous, you will not become panicked, and you will write good answers in the examination, correct answers rather. So with this and note, we would like to say that all the best for your examinations, and right now still we have some more time. You have some more time for preparation, so you can be focused, stay calm, and you can be prepare for your examination. You can channelize your all efforts in the desired direction, plan properly, and have positive outlook. Be positive. You will definitely gain success, and you will succeed with flying colors. All the best for your future examination.
Best of luck here for examination. And with this, we would like to end this session here only.
If you want, we can show you again the query link where you can ask the queries from us.
Query link.
accounting-enter@ici.in, where you can ask the queries from us. And my dear friends, we will resolve the queries in the minimum time period. accounting-enter@ici.in. I think you have noted it, and you will prepare accordingly. You will not waste time here and there. You will be focused towards your studies, and you will definitely keep all your efforts in the desired direction of attaining success. And if you will do this, nobody will stop you from attaining success, and you will definitely be a chartered accountant one day, and you will have success with flying colors. Thank you, and best of luck for the exam.